And Economic Development Authority not to exceed $79.6 million for a new baseball stadium, a Slavery and Freedom Parish site, private mixed use, commercial, retail, and residential development, and related public infrastructure improvements.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The moment everyone has been waiting for, opportunity to comment or
In the city, I'm opposed to building a ballpark down in Shockoe. Flying Squirrels were in the Eastern League. They were number one in attendance last year in the Eastern League. I think they did a great job. It doesn't make, to me, economic sense to move them to a place down in Shockoe Bottom where the city jail is, where there's a lot of crime, where it would be a parking nightmare. People from Hanover, Ranko, Chesterfield will not go to support it. People go to the Diamond on the Boulevard for various reasons. One is because there's good parking. Two, it's a safe neighborhood. Most of the people that go to ball games are families, and they feel safe and secure. To even think about moving to the Shockoe Bottom would be kill the goose and lay the golden egg. Since nobody's ever said that the diamond was structurally unsound, I assume that it is structurally sound. And so if the city wants to improve the conditions at the diamond, I think that would be fine. Anybody who goes to the ball games knows that I would guess about 20% of the seats are never sold because they're covered with advertisements. So if the Flying Squirrels were keen enough to take those covers off of those unsold seats and increase their attendance to the point where they were sold out every game, then that to me would make economic sense to improve the diamond and put more seats in there. But to keep the ballpark at the diamond. I'm totally opposed to having a ballpark put down in what I would call a death trap. It's not going to attract any customers. If the object is to make money with the ballpark, then you're swimming upstream to build a ballpark in Shockoe Bottom.
Thank you, sir. Before the next speaker comes to the microphone, the committee was just made aware that Keith Rogers, the Chief Administrative Officer, does have a presentation. If those in line would like to go ahead and be heard, we can switch the presentation on. If you all don't mind, sit back down, but it's up to you. I'll leave it up to the line. If you all want to say your piece, that's great, and then we'll watch the presentation.
Your call, John.
I'm Virginia Goodman, and I don't have an economic viewpoint, but I have more emotional viewpoint because I go to baseball games. My family, some of them are involved in baseball. I know that VCU is a part of the Diamond on Boulevard. I don't know how a move to the Shockoe Slip area would affect that in any way. I do know that the trends in other cities seem to indicate that it is not a profit-making kind of situation. The Atlanta Stadium, for example, which has been rebuilt in the last 4 years, is moving out into the county. And it seemed that the people who are most interested in the sports are people who are trying to develop hotels and restaurants and businesses centered around the baseball. If you think about the baseball situation, it's a seasonal affair going from April to September. And I guess the Squirrels would have about maybe 70 games coming into the home playing area. So if it's to generate business, there will be a lot of business lost in those other days when nothing's happening in the diamond. Also, it seems that it's a historic area, and perhaps it should be, the Shockoe should be more devoted to that history, and it shouldn't be totally suppressed by concrete. So, I love to go to the diamond because it's a beautiful evening to sit out and watch the planes go over and see the evening sky. So I hope that the diamond will stay on the boulevard and that you will examine very carefully the dollars and cents part of this so that it will not be another boondoggle, which we've had in downtown Richmond before. So I thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Good afternoon, my name is Rick Tatnell, and I live in the 7th District. There's a lot of things that I could list of concerns that I have about this project and reasons why I don't think it's an appropriate project. But I've been outspoken in problems that I see related to traffic and the logistics of it. And now that the information has been placed out with the specifics of what the development entails, I think that my concerns are even more heightened. Basically, I just don't feel that this project can fit into the area that has been set up to be placed, not physically from the place of the diamond and a ball field and a hotel and a parking garage, but simply from the number of cars and people, particularly vehicles, that are going to be asked to be placed into essentially a 10, 15 block area. The numbers of vehicles that are being added simply because of the hotel and the apartments, you're talking about thousands of cars that are going to be in this area at all times. The other evening at 6:15, I live up in Churchill. I regularly come down 21st Street and turn right onto Broad Street. And at 6:15 the other evening, I turned onto Broad Street and immediately stopped because there was bumper-to-bumper traffic all the way down that street. It took me 8 minutes to get to the 14th Street on-ramp for the interstate. There was no hotel, there was no diamond, there was no apartments, there was no nothing. It was just regular life on Broad Street in Churchill, and it's the same on Main Street. Those are the only two streets. This project will eliminate back and forth streets. It's just not possible. I intend to do everything I can to promote the specifics. I understand that there's a traffic study that I received a copy of that was done in August, and I want to look at that, but you're going to be hearing a lot about this, and I think that this is a critical element because it's not about anything other than whether it can really actually happen, and I think that it's quite evident that once we look at the numbers and look at the intersections and look at the ability to move people around, that this is simply not possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the job on today. My name is Dominic Birdball. I am a citizen of the 7th District of Churchill. I'm also a member and economic development chair of the Richmond NAACP. I'm here today with a resolution from the Richmond NAACP, and it's quite long, so I'm not going to go over it, but I'm going to highlight some things. Of course, most of you know Shockoe Bottom is of great historic importance to African Americans here in Richmond and African Americans across the United States. Shockoe Bottom was the transport center, the jail, and auction blocks for African Americans entering to the United States of America. Shockoe Bottom was the second largest slave transport for the United States of America, second to New Orleans. The vast majority of baseball fans in Richmond wants baseball to stay on the boulevard where it is right now. And the one thing that I really want to address to this body is Shockoe Bottom has a parking, a traffic, and a congestion problem. A baseball diamond to Shockoe Bottom will only increase that problem. We at NAACP think that we need to recognize the irreplaceable treasures that we have in Shockoe Bottom, use it as a historic district to educate our youngest, our communities. Thank you.
Afternoon, my name is Phil Vallejo, I'm resident of the 4th District, an editor of the Virginia Defendant newspaper, which, along with many other organizations and individuals, have been trying to raise concerns about the proposal to put a baseball stadium in Shockoe Bottom. I would like to point out that although the daily newspaper described this hearing today as the first public hearing, first opportunity for the public to weigh in on this issue, it does take place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a workday. And there are very few of us who are able to attend today, while others, organized by a public relations firm funded by Venture Richmond, are here in some numbers. So I ask you to keep that in mind. I want to support the statement that was just made by the representative of the Richmond branch NAACP. There's probably no single place in the United States that has more historic significance for the African American community than Shockoe Bottom. In 3 decades before the end of the Civil War, 300 to 350,000 people were sold from Virginia, most of them from Shockoe Bottom. By the end of the Civil War, there were less than 4.5 million black people in the country. If you do the math, you'll see that today the majority of African Americans would trace some ancestry to this small piece of land. Wouldn't they come here if it were properly developed? The second point is that the last time the mayor came before you to push an economic development program for the city, we bought the tape in a Coke. It was a Washington, D.C. football training camp. There were no benefits for the city. The surrounding businesses reported very little increase in traffic. The retail sales, according to the daily newspaper, were actually down in August, the busiest month, over the year before. No local businesses were allowed to vendor inside the camp, which effectively excluded all black-owned businesses. And we were told the city would be subsidizing the camp one time for $500,000. And after you agreed to it, it turned out to be 8 times for $500,000. Why you would believe any promises or estimations of future revenues in this proposal is difficult to understand. Third point can be summed up in the name H. Louis Salamansi, the person who stands to gain the most from the Shockoe Bottom development, land swaps, apartments, who went to prison 10 years ago for bribing a member of Richmond City Council, whose shady business practices resulted in the elimination of the tax abatement program that had been in the city for many years. It's very difficult to understand why you would want to get in bed with this type of businessman come with corruption. Finally, you do not have to vote on this today. You don't have to vote until a series of public hearings take place. Please read the information packets that all city council members are being provided with on the history, the economics, the logistics of this program, as well as the policy proposal. Thank you.